McNeal. This is Burkland Gardens. We're getting ready for the Northwest Flower and Garden Festival, and I still call it the Flower and Garden Show. That was what it used to be called years ago. I've been involved with it for over 20 years, usually with gardens, helping other people. I've done a few gardens myself, and also been a vendor there. And this year I'll be a vendor in a small booth. And we're going to give you a little preview of what we're going to have there as far as the plants. They'll be focusing on the conifers, pretty much exclusively conifers. I'll have a 10 by 10 booth, and this is at the Convention Center, the Seattle Convention Center, downtown Seattle. It's well attended. Probably well over 50,000 people attend over a 5-day period, starting on February 14th and running through the following Sunday. So I'm just going to show a little bit of a layout, go through some of the plants that I'm bringing as a preview, and Max will probably do a little video on possibly the setup, and then he'll be attending the show, and we'll do a little video of what we're doing down there in the show setting, and we might talk to a few other people from the Conifer Society and Maple Society. So we'll get started. I'm going to explain first. I've got a little bit of a setup on the patio here. This is not the full setup. So a 10 by 10 area would go to this table, the back of the table, edge of the patio here, and to this retaining wall right behind me. So the idea on the setup is to have a 5 by 7 area here. We're going to be looking at some of the bigger plants, and I'm going to take quite a few bigger plants with me. That might be a mistake. We'll find out. But there is a loadout service at the convention center, so people can drive up to the loading dock and have helpers. They will help them load their cars with heavy items. So that's a real advantage, and I don't have to leave the booth that way either. So larger plants in this area here, and we'll go through some of those. I'll have a table set up here with smaller items like the 2-year grafts and the 1-gallon plants, and maybe a few 2-gallon plants. There's some space underneath. There'll be an aisleway that comes through this way, through here. I'll have this rack set up, a shelving unit with some plants on it. We'll do, there'll be a few plants here and then a way to walk out this way. So a little L shape, and it'll be a corner booth, so people can see plants from the outside or walk through like this. And I'll sit back in the corner back here most of the time. On my aisle, the aisle that I'm on, there's quite a bit of seating for people to kind of rest there, and so I'll be putting some of my larger plants between the chairs down the aisle that we're on there, so I can display some of the bigger things that way as well. So let's look at some of the bigger plants. So we'll move over there. Some plants I'll have as many as 3 or 4 of an individual plant, some just one of an individual plant. And so let's just talk about some of them. Here's a Norway spruce, Picea abies, called Gold Drift. This is the plant introduction by Bob Fincham, and he'll be at the Conifer Society booth on Saturday morning. If you were wanting to talk to him and ask him questions, he's an author and has I've talked about this before. He has books available, and some of the best conifer books for either people getting into it or people that have been into it for a long time. So very interesting book. So we've got Gold Drift. I'm just going to move right here, and then I'll go that way. This Colorado blue spruce, Picea pungens, is called St. Mary's Broom. It's kind of interesting because it's another one that Bob Fincham considers one of his top picks as far as conifers go. It's a flat growing one, slow growing, couple inches a year, nice blue color. The new needles will be even, have that stronger blue color, but it holds that color throughout the year. This one, I'll be bringing 5 with me, and they're grafted on a standard, so they're grafted a little bit higher, so you can put it in the garden and have some things underneath it. Talk about pricing on these. At the show, these are going to be $89, and that will include sales tax, so that's pretty good. These are going to be, the Gold Drift are going to be $99. Again, everything will include, at the show will include sales tax, so it'll just be that'll be the price. Let's see. Let's go back here. I only have one of these available. It's on a standard as well. It's a eastern white pine called Hortsford. Only grows again a few inches a year. It's a soft pine, 5-needle pine, really nice. $99 on that. This one here is Mugo pine. We did a video on Mugos a while back then. This one wasn't included. It's called patches, little patches of gold or yellow throughout the foliage, the needles. Another Mugo called Golden Glow, and it's in really nice. We've had some cold weather like most of the country has had over the last few weeks. So Golden Glow has a nice orangey yellow tones, really bright. Nice addition. The new foliage will come out green, and the whole plant will turn green again. This one here, $89 for Golden Glow. A very slender Austrian pine, Pinus nigra. Green Tower, a $99 plant. We've got another Mugo, and we might have talked about this before. It has the two different sets of needles, the short and the long. This one's called Varilla. Again, it's on a standard. I'll have 5 of these with me. It's called Algonquin Pillar as a cultivar. It's a Rocky Mountain pine, Pinus flexilis. Really slow growing, fairly narrow. Nice color. This is nice. There's one in front of it here as well. Another Golden Glow. This one here is called Louis. It's another eastern white pine. We just looked at one over here. I'm really liking this pine. I've had it, and I have some smaller ones we'll see in a little bit that will be very reasonably priced at the show as well. Gold all year round. There's a little bit of burn on it, but typically no burn on it. You can have it in full sun and it does just fine. We've got a green penguin Scotch pine, a black pine, Japanese black pine called Ogon. It's got yellow variegation in it. We've got a miniature or very slow growing dwarf pine here. Let me come back to it, and we'll see. It slipped my memory right now. Slipped out of my mind what I was gonna say about it. Okay, yeah, it's a bristlecone pine. They grow in the high elevations down in southwestern U.S. So really unusual, very compact. It's got these little white flecks of pitch on the needles, and that's just a common for the plant there. So we'll move around, just kind of mentioning a few things as we go. I'm going to bring this one Stewardia with me because I have a lot of Stewardias. Not a lot, but quite a few Stewardias of various sizes. Some are quite old. Really nice shade and flowering tree. Blue Pearl, which is another Colorado spruce, grows very slowly. We got some firs right back here. A.B. Cephalonica, Greg's Broom, low growing, really nice green color. The buds are nice and exposed on the ends of the terminal there, so terminal buds, and that's a really nice plant. Flaky bark fir. This will get to be a pretty good sized tree. So the nice color on it. The plant is really cool looking, and it's got that flaky bark. That's where it gets that name. Got one of these only. Right here it's called Blue Bear. It's a alpine fir, and it's an old specimen, and so if you want something really unusual, this will be at the show. Another Abies magnifica. I think these are native to like Northern California, but I'm not totally sure right off the top of my head. But anyway, then it's called Nana. It's an old specimen, nice blue color. And another fir, vetch fir called Rumberg Park, just grows extremely slowly. Nice silver foliage along with the green, and kind of a blue color on the outside. We've got a Korean fir, Abies coreana. So this is silver pearl. You know, and a really old specimen on the standard. Really nice. I'll have 2 of these with me. So that is what we have. We're going to go back into the greenhouse and take a look at some younger trees, some 2-year grafts, mostly firs, and then a few other 1-gallon plants or 2-gallon plants that I have that we'll be bringing too. A couple of the plants in front of me are going to be going to the Flower and Garden Show. I'm just going to reach down and grab them and talk about it a little bit. This one's been one of the more popular conifers for the people who have been interested in. It's the eastern white pine called, and there's a number of different ones. This one's called mini twist. So it's a slow growing one, fits the small landscape. These are going to still have the understock on them. I could cut it off, but I'm going to leave it on for a little bit longer. And so if this one is purchased by anyone, I'm going to recommend that they take this off and leave it on for at least another 6 months to a year, and just help to keep the vigor going. These were recently upsized. They're not fully rooted in, but they're nice plants. There'll be the price on these are going to be $30 including tax. So I've got a number of 1-gallon plants. This mini twist Pinus strobus. Then I've got, I'm not sure I'm going to take any of these, but it's a black pine called it's actually a red pine, Japanese red pine called Vibrant. Really nice plant. And then we've got, I talked about Louis, the eastern white pine, that gold one that has no real burn in it, and it can be out in the full sun. So I have smaller ones. Again, a $30 price on these. I'm going to have some, let's see, I think these are blue clovers. This is one. This is Sesrini blue. So this is a Rocky Mountain pine. I have a few of these. And then I'll have a few of the blue clovers, which is a eastern white pine. Double check on that. Yeah, Pinus strobus. And this is one that Jason Hupp discovered. He's down there in Silverton, Oregon, and named after his daughter. Her nickname is Clover. So these will put on some nice growth next year, but you know, for $30 for a really nice grafted plant that's a couple years old in its second year, it's a really good deal. So we're going to look at a few others and then go into the greenhouse to look at our 2-year-old grafts. Quite a few of my customers, this plant, this conifer, catches their eye. It's a yellow color. It's different than that really bright color, so it's that soft yellow, but it really pops in the landscape. It's a Spanish fir. Spanish firs have an unusual needle. They're a little more stiff than most of the firs that you'll see, and it's native to just a region in Spain, southern Spain, at a certain elevation, right around 4,000 feet. So this golden one will be a pretty good sized tree eventually. It grows slowly, and then but you'd want to give it some space. Takes pretty well. You could, you know, there's a lot of buds on these pines, and you could keep it controlled to a point, but just figure, you know, it's not something you put right next to a house, or if you have a really small yard, you're going to have to control it. But the color is just really outstanding, would give you an excellent landscape specimen. So there's a few other low-growing noble firs in here, Glauca prostrata, which just grows up and mounding and spreading, going to stay low to the ground, and nice color. So those I'll take a few of those with me to the Flower and Garden Show as well. So from here we'll move to the greenhouse. I'm going to take 2 trays of grafts from last year. We call these second-year grafts or 2-year grafts. They'll be priced at $25 including tax. And we've got Archer's Dwarf, which is a concolor fir, one from the Oregon, not Oregon, but California area, up in the mountains. So we've got that one. Archer's dwarf is a really nice conical plant. You're getting a tree that you're going to have to spend some time. It's going to take some time to get up to size. So, but just having one available sometimes is really nice. So, got another noble fir called Pessic. It's going to be a flat growing one. It's got that blue tinge, got a little more gray into that blue. And you can see how miniature this one in front of it is. This is a alpine fir called Mountain Beauty. We've got a balsam fir called Piccolo, and all the understock is being left on these, and I would recommend leaving on throughout this year. Cut it off next year. You can shorten it up a little bit. Just it's going to help the plant pulling sap up and keeping the vigor going in this plant, and then you can cut the whole thing off within 6 months to a year, but it's up to the individual, but I'd recommend leaving it on this year since they're so small. So there's this group in here. I might take a few. I've got a few others here, but these are in little 4-inch containers, pretty much rooted into that container, so you get a nice little plant. Hard to find for pretty good price. So I hope you enjoyed the video today. Looking forward to being at the Northwest Flower and Garden Show or Festival, and stop by. And if you watch this on YouTube, stop by and let me know that. I appreciate that you're watching and you've seen these plants. So it'd be good to talk to some of the folks that watch the channel as well. So hope to see you there on February 14th through that following Sunday. Until then, we'll see ya.